Hey everybody, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a quick and easy stamp and show and tell for you today. We're going to be making this cute little note card. I'm going to use the Designer Series paper, All My Love. I'm using the Forever Lovely stamp set, and I'm using the dies that coordinate with this stamp set, Lovely Flowers. So we're going to do a little big shot work, and we're going to do some very simple stamping. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm actually going to be using a different sample piece from this Designer Series paper pack, but it's all going to go together the same. So let me get my bone folder. Alright, so let's start by folding our note card in half. Okay, and then I've cut my piece down to be the same size. So I'm just going to add some snail to the back side. Now the nice thing about our Designer Series paper is you get 12 different patterns, so you can change up your card just by flipping the paper over or changing out the piece. Now when I put this on, I'm going to try to square it up with the folded piece of my card, just like so. But sometimes, even though it's exactly the same size, we get it off just a little bit. So we have a little bit of white, or if you flip it over you can see a little edge of the back side. And here's a little trick. If you put any embellishments on your note card, it's going to be a little bit snug in the card. So what I do often is I just give it a little trim. So I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. And so after you put your piece on to cover your card, I'm just going to trim off a smidge, okay? Just a smidge. And I'll do the bottom as well. Just scooting it in a little bit. So it's like giving a little haircut. Now I've got nice clean edges, and it's going to fit in my envelope easy peasy, even if I put some embellishments on it. Okay, especially if you do some wrapped ribbon, that would be very snug, so this is going to help you get that in there easy peasy. So there's a nice little sheet for you. Now you can do that on full-size cards too, just trim them down a hair if your paper isn't quite lined up the way you want it to be. Okay, so now we need to do some big shot work. So let me show you what I did there. Alright, so I'm using my stitched oval framelit. I'm using this cute corner die, and I'm going to die cut the rows. And then there's this foursome that's going to make these cute little flowers, and we're going to pop those right out and use those on our card as well. So let me go ahead and get the big shot in here. I'm going to use my precision plate so that all of these details get cut nice and easy. So I've got lovely lipstick for my rose. Now for this, I'm just putting it on like here. Okay, I'm going to die cut my oval before I stamp, just because I know this set is photopolymer, so I can see through my images to get my stamp where I want it. And then I'm just using this little flower on a piece of scrap, and I'm going to get 4 little embellishment flowers to use. So I just put my plate over the top, and we're just going to run this through. Nice and easy. Now I'm going slow so I don't shake the table, but I usually go a lot faster. Okay, so let's just make sure that this all cut out nicely. Yep, that's going to work. Those guys are going to work, and that's going to work. Oh, there's somebody's having a fire. I live right near the firehouse, so I hear that many times all day long. Unfortunately, our fire department gets a lot of calls. Okay, so this one I can just pop out with my finger. This one I'm going to use my brush to help me get that free, and then just pop out those 4 little flowers. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and do that too. Now this one's not going to free itself completely. See how it's still kind of attached to my paper? this is a great piece if you wanted to make an edge. Now I'm just making this little kind of embellishment around mine. So after I've freed it, I'm just going to take my paper snips. Okay, I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm going to come in and I'm just kind of going to make it curve in a little bit. I just need enough that I can tack on the back of my tag. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp. I'm using Lovely lipstick because it coordinates with the colors in the paper. And I am stamping the You Are Loved sentiment, and I'm just going to put that on the center of my oval. So that's easy. Now from here I'm just going to add a little bit of snail to this little bit of a tab I left on my flower, and then I'm just going to put that right behind my tag. Flip it over so you don't smudge your ink, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and put that on the front of my card. Now, like I said, note cards a little bit snug in their envelopes, so if you don't want to upsize your envelope, don't put dimensionals on too many layers. Otherwise you may have a little trouble. So this one I'm going to put right there. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my glue dots for these little flowers. So, oh, that's a double. Back this up a little. Alright, so single glue dot on the back of my flowers. I'm going to use 2 large ones and 1 small one because you know I like to do things in odd numbers. Now just peel those off. Okay, and then just add them as embellishments. If your glue dot sticks out a little bit, just kind of pinch it behind. They're very pliable, so they'll work with you. And I've got my 3 embellishments there. Okay, I left my inside blank, but we're going to stamp our envelope, of course. If you're going to stamp a card, stamp the envelope. So I've got the coordinating rows, right, our distinctive stamp. So I get lots of detail there for my envelope. And see, I said it was a nice easy card. So there you go, 2 samples from the All My Love Designer Series paper with the stamp set Forever Lovely. Quick and easy, you could put it together a lot of note cards for that. You could change out the sentiment if you want to do something different. And you'd have a whole bunch ready to go when you needed them. So there you go, guys, simple stamping today, paper, ink, and stamps. If you enjoyed it, I'd love a thumbs up. Pop on over to the blog post, leave me a comment if you'd like, and I'll see you again real soon. Alright everybody, thanks so much for your support, and I'll stamp with you again later this week. Bye-bye!